find them. You should also pay attention to safety hazards in the bathroom. Kids are fascinated by the toilet. Make sure you keep the lid down and locked if possible. It's so easy for them to fall in and drown. Buckets of cleaning water are often overlooked, but kids can fall, get their heads stuck, and drown. Store buckets empty and upside down. And don't forget to be aware of your pet's water bowl, which can also be a hazard to your child. And keep the bathtub drained. Even the smallest amount of water is a drowning hazard. If you can, install a soft spout cover for the bathtub to avoid bumps, bruises, and burns. Keep electrical cords and appliances like hair dryers unplugged and put away. The typical bathroom cabinet is one of the most tempting places for children. They can climb from the toilet or a stool onto the sink and into real trouble. Razors, cosmetics, medicines, all are dangerous. Flush all old medicines down the toilet. Kids love to explore wastebaskets, and some pills look like candy to them. And just because something has a child-proof cap, don't think that kids can't open it. Keep the bathroom door shut and keep what's dangerous really out of reach and out of sight on a high shelf in the closet, for example.
Yes, hello? Yes, I believe my son ate a pill.
If your child does eat something poisonous, here's what to do. Keep the poison control number by each phone and call immediately. Look into your child's mouth and remove what you can. And have a bottle of Ipecac on hand, but never use it unless told to by poison control. And we don't mean all of this to scare you, but we do want to prepare you, because only by planning ahead and knowing what to do when emergencies come can you keep your child safe and sound. For the first couple of years, you really have to make sure that your child's safe at every moment. It's hard to do, believe me, I know. Here's one tip, however. Make one room in your house or an area of your apartment completely childproof. That way, if you do have to answer the door, for example, you can put your child there and know she's safe. For infants, the crib or playpen is the safest. And there's one room we haven't talked about yet. It's my favorite room in the house, the kitchen. I remember when I was growing up how we'd all gather in the kitchen to smell the wonderful things my mother had on the stove and feel safe and secure. Little did I know then what ER doctors now tell me, that the kitchen can be one of the most dangerous rooms in the house, especially as your children grow into the toddler years. Dinner hour is the time most accidents happen, and no wonder. Look at all the dangers there are. Knives kids can cut themselves on if they're left at the counter's edge, pots of boiling liquid, and frying pans. All of these are so tempting to a toddler and have to be put out of reach, so always keep the handles pointed toward the back of the stove. Electric appliances should be unplugged or stored. Cleaning supplies should be stored in cabinets with child-proof latches. In fact, all kitchen and other cabinets should have latches. They even make simple ones for refrigerators.
Toast out?
1 minute, sweetie.
Don't let little ones play on the floor when you're cooking. You could spill something hot on them. Put your child in a high chair or playpen instead, and talk to her while you're cooking. If something does happen, be prepared by having all emergency numbers right by the phone for poison control, your doctor, and of course, there's 911. And know what you can do yourself. For example, for a minor burn, apply a wet washcloth or run cold water on it. Don't ever use butter or ice on a burn. Cool water is best. Keep your first aid supplies in one place in the house. That way, when there's an emergency, you'll always know exactly where to go. For small cuts, wash with water, apply an antiseptic cream, and put on a Band-Aid. And add a kiss.
It's better?
Safety outside the home. As a parent, that's your responsibility too.
Yay! Now what?
And as kids get older, they're doing a lot more risky things. Most accidents in playgrounds and backyards involve falls. Kids under 5 should always use swing seats. All equipment should be free from anything that can cut or catch your child, like hooks and nails. And most important, the play surface should be soft, like wood chips, sand, or rubber. If you use a child care center or family care, make sure the place is safe as well, and that someone's trained for emergencies.
You need to leave it on. Your mommy will take it off in a couple of days.
Pools need to be especially safe. Accidents happen so fast. Most drownings happen only a few minutes after the child was last in sight. Whether a public or private pool, it has to have a fence. Gates should be self-closing and latch automatically. And children must never swim alone. A parent or lifeguard has to be there all the time. And if possible, the pool should have a cover, which must be completely removed before swimming. Finally, I need to talk to you about kids and guns. Everyone has an opinion about guns, but however you feel, if you have a gun in your house, you've got to make it safe. Trigger locks are a must, and the guns should be stored separately from ammunition and locked away. No matter how much you've talked to your kids about the dangers of guns, it's foolish to trust that they won't play with them, and the results can be tragic. And it's not just your own home you have to worry about. What about when your kids go to a friend's house or to family child care? You need to know whether or not there are guns there as well. You've got to ask and train your children to tell you about any guns they see. If there are guns, they have to have trigger locks and be stored safely where your kids can't get to them. If it's not safe, don't let your child go there. It's your responsibility. We all know that as children grow, there will be a few bumps and bruises along the way. But at least we can all sleep at night if we know we've done everything possible to prevent injuries. So think about potential hazards and make a safe environment for your child. Because as I said before, safety's first. For my kids, and I hope for yours. It's all about the kids.